Very carefully, they might not say anything. This is horseradish here. It's the root of horseradish that we use. When we harvest roots, most roots we generally harvest in the autumn, so exactly about this time of year. However, for this horseradish, you would probably want to leave it another few weeks because it's not dying down at all yet. But as soon as the aerial parts of the plant begin to die down, that is at the point where basically the food store of the plant, which is the root, is at its fattest and fleshiest, and normally it's most potent. Whereas in the springtime, when the root has been used to keep the plant alive over winter, it's quite often just a sort of fibrous, hollow, shriveled up thing. The main use for horseradish is actually topically as a rubefacient, so it brings blood to the surface as a rubefacient, so it makes you red, makes your skin red. Brings blood to the surface. Another one that we use that helps like that. Sorry, my umbrella's dripping on you, isn't it? Sorry.
No, it's alright. I'm gonna get mine
is
now.
capsicum, which is your common chilli. One of the reasons why we would use something that would make your skin go red is partly to increase circulation to that area, but it's also used as a vehicle to get whatever else you're putting on the skin into the blood. Also, horseradish can be taken internally as a central stimulant, again similar to chilies. And rosemary is also a stimulating herb and is used to increase blood flow to the brain, which is why it historically used to be used for memory. The one that we use as herbalists most commonly is Salvia officinalis. The word officinalis means official or of the shop, which used to be used by the apothecaries to be the ones that they used officially. Salvia, you use the leaves of salvia. It's very often harvested when it first comes into flower, but it doesn't have to be in flower when you harvest it. And its probably most common use is for the treatment of hot flushes in the menopause, during the menopausal hot flushes. Sorry?
And you're looking about salvia. This is about salvia.
Yeah. It's also got very strong antiseptic properties. You can make a very nice throat gargle with it. You can tincture it or use it as a tea. Teas are a really underestimated vehicle of use for herbal medicine. Nowadays it seems like all herbalists are really interested in tinctures, capsules and like fluid extracts and things like that. When actually in years gone by people were treated very, very well using tea. Fennel is a very good carminative, so it's very, very useful in the treatment of wind, but particularly for colic in babies. Nearly every gripe water thing that you would buy from shops or buy from the chemist, its main component is fennel. This plant, you probably have all seen this loads growing in the wild. It's Verbascum thapsus. Its common name is mullein, or mullin. Some people call it mullein, I don't know, mullin. From now on you'll all know it as Verbascum. Botanically it's biennial, which means it sends, in its first year it sends a basal rosette of leaves, and then in its second year it sends up its flower spike. And it's actually the flowers of the mullein that we normally use, although there is the leaves that are sometimes used as well. And you can make a tincture out of it. It's very, very useful in the treatment of chesty coughs in children, and the flowers have got a sedative property to them. Also people use oil from the flowers, so an infused oil to drop as a dropper for ear infections. The one is called motherwort, I hope.
Motherwort.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. It's always embarrassing when you've got the labels on your side. Feel free to correct me. Its Latin name is Leonorus cardiaca. As you can probably hear from the second part of its name, from the species cardiaca, is of the heart, and it's most common use is actually for irregular heartbeats, so for palpitations and irregular heartbeats. And again, it is normally harvested everything above ground whilst it's in flower. It's now finished flower, it has really nice purpley coloured flowers on it when it's in flower.